Yeah.
Are you
waiting on you guys to ask.
preoccupied with that, or
What?
eligibility?
I'm not sure. Really, my focus on is kind of just getting to know the guys better and kind of getting to know the system and just focusing on this upcoming season.
How is that going, by the way?
It's going good. I think me and the guys are building a great relationship, and the coaches, Coach Day's a great guy. He's a great coach, and Coach Mick.
You're fine, Justin. I'm sorry.
And,
I just didn't want people to crowd.
Everyone in the weight room, they're great coaches. So I'm definitely getting acclimated, and I like it up here a lot.
Justin, you're obviously in a great opportunity where you were before. Can you explain a little bit about the process of deciding to leave and then explaining why here? Of all the places you could have gone, why was this the fit that worked best for you?
Well, first off, I think Coach Day's a great coach, a great offensive-minded coach, and we kind of had a relationship in high school, but they had a commit at the time when I was kind of getting recruited by them, so I didn't really have great contact with them at that time. But yeah, Coach Day's a great coach, and he's smart, as I can see already. I mean, I've met with him on some plays already, and I can already tell he's a great offensive-minded coach.
And just to go back to Georgia for a second, obviously that was home for you, and it was a very difficult place to, I'm sure, leave. Can you explain a little bit of why you felt it was in your best interest to move on and give yourself a new opportunity somewhere else?
I really rather not kind of talk about why I left. I'd rather just talk about this upcoming season and kind of the upcoming goals me and this team have to try to accomplish this year.
Is that because of the pending waiver decision that you wanted?
No, not really. I just don't want to really talk about Georgia. I really just want to keep all my focus on Ohio State.
How much did watching Dwayne Haskins last year and what he did in this offense influence your decision, just watching what he did?
Yeah, I mean, me and Dwayne were pretty close friends, so I would say just kind of seeing him and talking with him and kind of getting a grasp of what Coach Day is like and what he's told me, it was great to see what he did last year, and I just hope I can do the same thing.
What kind of advice did he give you as far as being the starting quarterback at Ohio State?
He just said, really just lead with your mouth. I mean, he told me he had trouble kind of, I guess, talking up, but as you get more and more comfortable, you'll kind of start taking over the team and start leading.
Justin, when you talk about keeping your focus on this spring and this year, is any part of that challenging when you don't know for sure that you're going to be eligible?
No, not really, because I mean, growing up, I've always learned to control the controllables. So I mean, I know I can't control what the NCAA decides, so my focus is just on this team and getting better.
Is it safe to say you're pretty confident that you will be eligible right away, though, if you had to say, are you pretty confident about that?
I mean, I don't really know anything, but I do hope I'm eligible this year to play, and so we'll just see what happens.
Do you have any idea or hopes of when you might find out?
I'm hoping soon, so we can just get all this over with, and I can just really focus on the team and getting better.
What have you learned about this school and the culture, and how is it different maybe from where you've been? Just this guy's okay too, by the way.
I can definitely tell up here. I mean, it's a more player-friendly kind of atmosphere. The coaches, which is different to me, the coaches kind of call you week to week or day by day to just check up on you, see how you're doing, how you're kind of getting used to things and stuff like that. So I've kind of enjoyed talking to the coaches. It's not really all about football, just kind of just about life, pretty much.
When you made your decision to come here, Tate Martell was still here, from what I recall, and obviously he's not now.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that he didn't? I mean, you all had a relationship. I mean, you all knew each other a little bit.
I didn't really know him. I knew of him, but I didn't know him. But I mean, I guess you can say I was surprised that he left. But I mean, we got to do what's best for us, and I wish the best of luck to him.
Justin, what do you expect? How quickly you got to know Matthew Baldwin? What do you expect of kind of going to battle with him in the spring?
Yeah, Matthew's he's a great guy. He's a great competitor. I can tell by what we've been doing now. He's smart in the film room, and he's just a nice guy overall.
And when you talk about learning or asking questions of Dwayne, he had told us that one of the benefits for him was having a chance to wait before he got to play. What are the challenges of learning this offense and getting it quickly if you want to be the starter this year?
Well, this offense is kind of different from Georgia, but I also think being in that Georgia pro style offense that that offense has prepared me kind of for this offense, and of course I have some things to learn, but I hope I can get them down and get started quick.
Justin, what about this offense suits your skill set? What was appealing about that as you were assessing?
I would say just the type of plays. Coach Day has a lot of, I guess what you call pure progression reads, which is kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4 read. So I mean, those to me are the easiest reads because you can just kind of go across the board and read it like that. And also just the guys we have at wideouts, they're all great athletes and great players. So I think they'll definitely make my job easier.
And Ohio State's coming off a year where it had, basically a traditional kind of drop back passer. How much of mobility is a factor in your game? How much do you see yourself using your legs as well?
I see myself using my legs a little bit more than Dwayne did last year, but I'm really just here whatever Coach Day asks me to do, and whatever is best for the team.
What are your impressions of just how complex the offense is? I mean, when Tate Martell talked to us at the Rose Bowl, he said nobody can come in here and learn it and master it in the first year. What are your impressions so far?
I have great coaches around here, so I think I'm picking up the offense pretty well, and we're just meeting every day, and I should pick up the offense pretty well, hopefully.
What have you been doing on a day-to-day basis to get yourself acclimated?
I mean, really, we just have workouts in the morning, then I'll usually meet with one of the coaches about the offense for an hour, and then I got class. Then I try to get a nap in or so because I'm always tired, and then I just do homework because you have a bunch of homework I found out, so that's the kind of thing I've been doing pretty much.
What stands out about Coach Mick? I know you come from the big-time program too, but how does it compare with what Coach Mick has you guys doing?
Yeah, Coach Mick, he's a great and energized guy, and he definitely pushes me. At Georgia, I guess the quarterbacks didn't do like all the weightlifting they do here, so I can kind of see myself getting better in the weight room and learning about the weight room and learning more about my body and being pushed a lot.
And just the weather, what's that been like getting adjusted to that?
That's been crazy, but I definitely came here prepared. I bought a lot of jackets up here with me, so I've kind of gotten used to the weather. Like in Georgia, I would say 45 is freezing, but when I get 45 here, I'm like, thank you, Lord. So it's definitely been crazy.
What's been the biggest adjustment, whether it's football, academics, culture, whatever? What's been the biggest adjustment you've had to make so far?
I would just say the weather, like he said, just kind of getting used to the climate. But yeah, that would probably be the biggest thing.
What are your impressions of Columbus? Obviously, Georgia was a football first place too, but this is the same with that. I mean, just walking around campus, how much attention are you getting from students, fans, etc.?
Yeah, Columbus is a definitely different landscape. It's more of a city than kind of Georgia. Georgia's more, I guess, kind of land, but I definitely like the city, and I guess the people around classes. So I'll walk to class and I'll get an OH and then I say IO back, and people have asked me for pictures, so that's kind of been pretty good.
Hey Justin, when you were going through the recruiting process the second time, you were speaking with Ohio State. How did Ohio State sell you? What was the sales pitch for coming here?
They really didn't give me a sales pitch because they already knew that I've been through the recruiting process, so they weren't trying to sell me. I mean, they didn't really have to that much, just going based off what Dwayne did last year and how much success he had in this offense. I felt like I could come in and hopefully do the same thing as he did.
So when you were watching what Dwayne did, I know you guys were friends, was that all you really needed to know about this place to find it appealing? Because I think just obviously when you're who you are, and you're going through the process again, you're very...
Yeah, I think I've made kind of more of a business decision, and Coach Day, he's been in the NFL, so he knows what it takes to get there, and just the offense and how successful it was last year, I just hope to, I guess, kind of do the same thing again.
And when you saw Ohio State, was this like a place where they communicated to you that you'd have a very good chance to play immediately if waiver? Like, did you come here saying this is going to be my job?
I mean, I didn't necessarily come here. I knew I would kind of have to work to get the starting job. So, I mean, Coach Day didn't promise me anything. He told me I would have to come in and work for it. So I'm just looking forward to getting better.
For Ohio State fans who haven't seen you play, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I would describe myself as kind of a playmaker and a player that's able to extend plays when a play breaks down, and an exciting player. So
you call this a business decision. Why was this the best decision for getting to the NFL?
I mean, as I said again, Coach Day, he's been in the NFL. He knows what it takes to to get quarterbacks to the NFL. So, and just the offensive mind he has, I can tell that he's a smart guy. So that's why.
Is your plan to try to get there as soon as you can?
It's really all in God's plan, but I hope I get there as soon as I can. But it's really all up to His plan. So.
You're already in the preview video. I mean, you're already.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you at all? Is that pretty cool? Or?
I mean, that was pretty cool. I mean, I saw them videotaping me yesterday, but being the first one in the video, that was pretty cool, and I was glad to be in it.
You talked about watching Dwayne Haskins this past season. We know that you guys have talked. We saw you, sitting there courtside at the basketball game with him and Urban. Just what have those conversations been like with Dwayne, and what did he try to sell you? Like, did he try to sell you on the program? Was he talking to you more as a friend or as a?
He was kind of talking to me more as a friend. He wasn't really trying to get me anywhere. He just wanted the best for me, and he just wanted me to be successful. And I just thought this was the best place to be successful.
Is there anything? I mean, what did he? Did he tell you any specifics of why he thinks you would be successful in this? I don't know if some of those conversations are private, I'm sure. But
no, I mean, we've worked out together, so we definitely know each other's skill set, and so he's definitely told me my style of play would fit in great here, so that's kind of why I chose Ohio State.
So seeing that this past year and seeing how they kind of changed up their offense this season, that was one of the things that kind of sold you on the program.
Yes.
What do you think of the wide receiving core coming back? Obviously, there's a good mix of veterans like KJ and some other seniors, like Austin Mack, Ben Victor, and CJ Saunders.
Yeah.
A lot of young guys like Olave. Just what do you think of the wide receiving core?
I think they're great players. I mean, we've gotten out and thrown, and they're all great players. They're definitely athletes, and they're all able to make big plays.
Justin, how anxious are you about the decision, the NCAA decision, and how confident are you that it will be granted?
I mean, I'm not really anxious. I'm not really rushing any things because, again, I don't really control that. They do, so I'm just trying to get here to be the best quarterback I can be. And the next question is what?
Yeah, just how confident are you?
How confident? I don't really have a confidence level. I'm not really worried about it, to be honest. I mean, because whatever happens, happens, and everything happens for a reason.
I mean, most people expect it to be granted, but if by some chance it's not, how will you kind of deal with that?
I mean, I'll just put my head down and keep working. I mean, I can't control that, so I'll just be ready for the next season.
I mean, what is the sure you wanted to play more last year, but what was the benefit of sitting and watching? Was it that battle between frustration you're not playing, but realizing you could learn something?
I definitely learned a lot from Jake. He's a smart quarterback. He's a good quarterback, and so I definitely learned from a lot from the coaches and from him teaching me in that offense.
What is the case that you made to the NCAA that you should be granted that waiver to play?
What's the case?
Yeah. What's the argument to play right away?
We're not going to go there.
Yeah.
We're not going to go there.
I'd rather not talk about the NCAA thing. I'd rather just keep my focus on the team and the future.
Justin, when you were at the basketball game with Dwayne, I think that was kind of like a big moment for people to see you for the first time and seeing you hug Urban on the court side. What do you remember about that game?
I just really remember the amount of fans there. Like, I've been to a few like Georgia basketball games, but just the fan base there was packed out for that game. So kind of just seeing that and just seeing the support from the Ohio State fans, I just really think that's a good thing, and I can tell Ohio State has a great fan base.
Justin, I'm assuming
a little over 10 minutes, folks.
Have you worked out with Garrett Wilson and thrown him the ball and stuff? I don't know if you watched the national championship game. I'm sure you did, but they had some freshman receivers that were making some pretty big plays for Clemson. Is he that type of caliber talent? When you is he like somebody who can play immediately?
Garrett's definitely talented, and I think if he does all the right things, he can definitely get some time on the playing field this year.
You grew up in Georgia, went to Georgia. I mean, I imagine you always envisioned yourself staying in that state. How did you have to change your mindset? Okay, I'm going to go somewhere I've never been and adapt to a different climate, culture, everything.
I mean, just looking based on like going back on this and going back on choosing this, I wasn't really worried about where I went or like the climate or whatever. I was just worried about the best place to get me or the best place to develop me for the next level. So that's the kind of the main thing I was looking for.
How much did you know about the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry before you got here, and what do you know about now, and what's your level of dislike at this point?
I mean, I definitely knew it was a big rivalry, but coming here and actually seeing like all the M's crossed out, it's definitely way bigger than I thought it would be. So I'll definitely be excited for that upcoming game.
What have your teammates told you about the rivalry?
Well, that's kind of private, but just know there's a lot of hate for the team up north.
How does Ohio State's talent stack up with the receivers you worked for with some you saw at Georgia?
I mean, Georgia, Ohio State, they definitely both have great receivers. So I would definitely say they're all great athletes and all of the playmakers.
Justin, you talk about seeing the fan base here in Columbus. I mean, does that add any nerves at all? You know, you are coming in here with Tate gone. You're assumed to probably be the starting quarterback next season. You know, you're the highest rated player to ever come to Ohio State. They're expecting you to kind of continue on what Dwayne just did last season. I mean, how much does that add nerves, or do you kind of embrace that?
Nah, I mean, I've kind of learned my lesson on nervousness. So I'll tell y'all a little story. So 10th grade year is my first varsity starting game, and I was nervous as can be. And like the first play of the game, I threw a 5-yard out and I threw it right into the ground. So that's kind of taught me like not to be nervous and just go out there and just play with confidence and just do what you do, pretty much.
And then watching the national championship game this season, I mean, you were in the same class as Trevor Lawrence and some of those guys. I mean, do you look at that and say, I can help Ohio State do that next season?
I definitely think I can help Ohio State, and I definitely hope to be at the same stage next year with the team.
What was attractive about Coach Day other than the NFL tie? What really connects you guys?
Just that he's a players coach, and he builds great relationships with the players, and just kind of seeing the support from the players. And I've talked to some of the players that went here already before I chose to come to Ohio State, and they definitely said they liked him as a coach. So that was kind of another reason why.
Yeah, Quincy Avery, I know, has really talked up Coach Day. You've worked with Quincy. I know Dwayne Haskins worked with Quincy. I'm sure he was pleased that you made this decision. Quincy Avery.
I mean, Quincy really didn't point me in any direction. He didn't really talk to me about my decision. But so I mean, I don't really know what to say to that. But yeah, Quincy's a great guy too.
When you were growing up watching college football, do you have recollections watching Ohio State? Like Dwayne used to talk about watching Troy Smith and stuff like that. Do you have any recollection of watching Ohio State? If you do, like what stands out?
I'd say the biggest thing that stood out to me was when they won the national championship with Cardell. I think watching him, that was kind of the biggest memory I had growing up watching him.
Justin, you got a lot of questions there about learning the offense. How, like, where would you say you are in that process now? Do you studying every day to get a jump start? Or how does that work? So
I try to get in. Talk with Coach Yursich and Corey, one of the QCs. Yep. So I try to just go on with them and just study, I guess, the plays, the protections, and all of that stuff to get the play to go down as fast as possible.
What would be your comfort level with that right now? You have spring practice started today.
I don't really know because I don't really know the entire playbook, but I think the stuff that I have learned now that I have a pretty good idea of.
Justin, I assume you like the way the NCAA has sort of changed its ability to allow players to decide where they want to go to school and transfer. Why is that important for players to have a little more opportunity or control over where they're playing and how playing?
I just think like going to college, having that is